Hello, my name is Logan and I'm your host, the Mighty Pirate. Today I'm going to be starting a series about the various factions within the Battletech universe. In this first video, I'll be talking about Comstar, as it has some of the longest history, as well as facilities on almost every world within the Inner Sphere. Comstar is made up of many different branches, each with an independent task from the others. They are the Explorer Corps, Communications, Financial Affairs, Archives and History, Stellar Relations, Terran Affairs, and finally Science and Research. To start, Comstar's main headquarters is on Earth in Sydney, Australia, and one of the main reasons for their massive amount of influence is due to the most important technological advances of the Star League era, which was the Hyperpulse Generator, a variant of technology of the Kearney-Fushida drive that allowed interstellar communication and made possible the smooth rule and operation of the massive Star League and the Inner Sphere. With the most important and largest network facilities on Terra and its surrounding worlds, these planets suffered the most during the initial collapse of the Star League after Stefan Armas was dethroned. In the aftermath, one of the few things House leaders would agree on is that the HPG network was vital in keeping all the worlds united under any ruler, and these networks would have to be restored if order was to be brought back to the Inner Sphere. House leaders nominated and appointed Jerome Blake as the Minister of Communication in 2780, as he was the highest-ranked member of the previous regime that was not captured or killed during the Armistice coup. Blake's heroic efforts to maintain communications during the crisis earned him a reputation for integrity. Blake recognized two great responsibilities in the wake of the collapse of Star League: preserving as much of the currently available technological knowledge as possible, and preventing the successor states from seizing interstellar communication networks and misusing it for their own destructive purposes. To this, he set about transforming the Department of Communication into a neutral, transnational corporation dedicated to the operation and preservation of the HPG network, renaming it Comstar. In 2788, Blake took control of Terra and declared it a neutral world. He offered secure interstellar communication to all successor states that would pledge and respect the neutrality of the Hyperpulse Generator stations and personnel. The Inner Spheres recognized that open communications were crucial to their survival and agreed to Blake's demands, marking it the beginning of the Order of the Comstar. Blake created the first circuit to administer Comstar's affairs and fostered a secret brotherhood mentality among Comstar's members in order to keep the secrets of Comstar and their secrets of the Star League safe. After Blake's death in 2819, Conrad Tomia of Dairon took control of Comstar. He replaced its corporate structure with a rigid religious hierarchy and shrouded its activities in mystic rituals. Tomia declared himself Primus, the highest authority in Comstar, and declaring his role noble and without question, passing on these traditions to his successors. Within just a few generations, this mysticism that was adopted convinced just about everyone that was in and outside of Comstar that Comstar adepts were the only ones capable of managing HPG network, ensuring that none of the great houses would attempt to steal or control the Star League's technological legacy. Eventually, one of Comstar's factions forgot Blake's original principles and convinced the faction followers that their mission was to conquer humanity rather than protect it. This faction eventually rose to power under Primus Mindo Waterley, and nearly caused enough damage to allow the clans to successfully conquer the Inner Sphere. It was the actions of Antaeus Focht that these plans were foiled, and Primus Waterley was forced to resign. Between Focht and Shalari Mori Waterley's successor, Comstar had a massive reform to make Comstar's purpose as the guardians of the Star League era technology. When the second clan invasion occurred in 3051, one of the leaders of Comstars, Antaeus Focht, proposed a deal with the Ilkhan of the opposing clan forces, Ulrich Karinsky, in which the invading clans would fight the forces of Comstar on the remote Rashagal planet of Tukiad. To fight the clans, it was at this time Focht revealed the existence of Comguard, the elite near-mythical branch of Comstar that had been hidden away since the fall of the Star League. Comguard forces clashed with the invading clans on Tukiad, and used their tactics and knowledge of clan weaknesses to attain an almost absolute victory against all but one of the opposing clans. Ilkhan Karinsky was forced to accept a 15-year truce with the Inner Sphere. Following the Battle of Tukiad, Focht returned to Terra to confront the radical Primus Mindo Waterley, who had hoped a clan takeover of the Inner Sphere would lead to control by Comstar. Focht killed Waterley and tried to cover it up, but failed. However, Precentor Demona Aziz of Asteris, leader of the rebel Comstar faction, knew the truth and left Terra with a group of followers still loyal to their cause. With permission from Thomas Merrick, the new word of Blake would occupy the land on the world of Gibson. After the revealing of ComGuard, Comstar became an even more predominant force in the Inner Sphere. The ComGuard were deployed all across the Inner Sphere to act as guards of HPGs on war-torn planets, and were also called to act upon as the Star League's peacekeepers, following the Whitting Conference of 3058. In this guise, Comstar forces went with Prince Victor Ian Steiner Davin to the clan homeworld of Strana Mechady, where they participated in the Great Refusal, during which they were defeated by Clan Jade Falcon. While the members of Comstar continued their original mission given to them by Jerome Blake, the splinter group known as the Word of Blake, under the leadership of the so-called Primus in exile, Thomas Merrick, used a more radical interpretation of the teachings of Jerome Blake as justification for a jihad against the houses of the Inner Sphere, with the intent of conquering Terra. Since their separation from the main body, they remained the enemy of Comstar until their defeat and reabsorption in 3081. The Word of Blake achieved their goals, and Comstar would be dealt a major blow when the Word of Blake captured Terra in Operation Odysseus. Antaeus Fawk chose not to recapture the planet, believing the clans were a greater threat at the time. Soon after, Comstar would be moved to Tukiad. Comstar attempted an invasion of the newly formed Word of Blake Protectorate in 3068, but failed. After a bloody Word of Blake jihad, Devon Stone would eventually recapture Terra and form the Republic of the Sphere. Comstar has yet to regain control of Terra. That is all I have to say about Comstar. I hope you'll join me in my next faction video. If there's a specific faction you'd like me to cover, please leave your vote in the comment section. Till then, thanks for watching.